Earth, a world of places that rise, fall, and adapt. Some are celebrated, others are quietly forgotten. Towns shaped by industry, tested by change, and defined by their people. This is one of them. This is Hyde. Long before shopping centres and ring roads, Hyde was built on work. Factories, mills, coal and cotton. As the Industrial Revolution took hold, Hyde grew rapidly. Canals carved through the landscape, mills rose from brick and smoke, and streets filled with families building something lasting. Industry didn't just shape the town, it shaped the lives within it. Schools, public buildings, and shared spaces followed, creating a town centred around work, family, and routine. For a time, it felt unstoppable. Until the world beyond Hyde Streets caught up with it. War reshaped communities across the country, and towns like Hyde felt that shift deeply. Life paused, changed, and adapted. But it endured. Through the decades that followed, Hyde found rhythm again. The market thrived, streets were busy, and the town centre remained the heart of daily life. For generations, Hyde wasn't just somewhere people lived, it was somewhere people belonged. But don't just take that from me. Take it from someone who's seen Hyde change and stay with it.
My name's Jim Fitzpatrick. I've been a councillor in Hyde for 32 years, and I retired from both council and work. Lived in Hyde all my life. I was born on Cross Street, and I lived around Hyde ever since. One of the things about Hyde was you've got to understand part of the history of Hyde. It was a new town in a sense in 1881 when we got its charter, and that was due to the cotton industry. In 1801, the population of Hyde was 3,000. By 1881, the population of Hyde was 30,000. And that was all down to the Industrial Revolution. The fact that Hyde had coal, we got the cotton industry going, but that also developed on other industries as well as the cotton industry. And Hyde boomed around that early 1900s and that situation. Developed lots of things around Hyde, libraries, schools, park, swimming baths was always done around that period. One of the things about Hyde, the town hall behind me was built in 3 stages. The first stage built in 1884, the second stage built in 1914, and that was the hall and the rest of other parts of the building. And one of the things about the First World War, the Germans went through Belgium, and the Belgian refugees came to Hyde. And we have a war memorial in the Hyde Town Hall, and the 5 plaques with all the 710 men from Hyde were made by the Belgian refugees. So it's very important. It was a massive impact on how it developed, and we grew from after there and the Second World War. It developed exponentially. But the population of Hyde has remained more or less around 30,000. So today's population is 34,000. All through the 60s, 70s, it was always around about 30,000. Well, post-war, Hyde market was very important. The fact that people used to work in the local industry and the factories and the mills got paid cash in the pocket when they came into Hyde to plough. So if cash was king, everybody would come to the market, buy the clothes, buy the food and shoes. Everything was based around the market. Hyde was the market town then was. But those times have changed now. We've seen supermarkets growing. Like Morrison's and Hyde, got Asda, got Aldi. People now get paid monthly. They don't get paid weekly. They don't get paid cash in the pocket. They get paid straight to the bank. Shopping trends have changed. You've got the internet and how people shop. Young people don't tend to come on the market now. The only people around the markets, it's very small. People don't understand on the market. They can sell it through the internet. It's a lot better. And people have got to understand that times have changed and we've got to move with the new times that we're on.
So Hyde's history is deeply rooted, shaped by industry, war and community. But when you look at the town today, it's hard to ignore the challenges people talk about. Empty markets, fewer businesses, less footfall. But is it really as bad as people think? Or has Hyde simply just changed with time? To understand that, it's worth hearing from the people who live here.
My name is Josh, and I'm currently a student at Ashton Sixth Form College.
So my name is Ethan Morris. I'm a college student at Inside College, and I do creative media.
My name is Jake Davis, and I'm a student in Amsterdam.
I am Benjamin Dorset, and I'm a student at the University of Salford.
I've lived in Hyde since I was born, my whole life, 18 years.
So I've lived here all my life since I was a child, since I was 4. I've always lived here.
So about 10 years now, so most of my life I'm 17, so
I've lived here since I was born, so about 19 years, my whole life.
I'd say it's just sad, really. It's lost. It's got a lot of potential, but it needs some work to be done, definitely.
I wouldn't say it's the best. I think it could be better.
well, I mean, it's fair to say it's seen its better days, but it's not exactly lost to time, I'd say. I'd say there's still hope if whoever's in charge sort of cracks the knuckles and say, let's actually fix this place, because it has its issues, but there's potential. I think it can be fixed.
Well, it's had its ups and its downs, but when it comes to it, it's so.
Like many towns across the country, Hyde has had to adapt to a world that moves faster than it once did. The rise of online retail and large supermarkets has reshaped how people use town centres, particularly in smaller towns where the high street once formed the centre of daily life. As habits changed, some buildings were left behind. Parts of the town centre now sit underused, while traffic cuts through spaces once designed for people. The effects of the pandemic only accelerated this shift, leaving Hyde, like much of the UK, at a crossroad. Yet at the same time, plans are being shaped to reimagine the town, from short-term public realm improvements, such as greener streets and safer pedestrian routes, to longer-term ambitions like redeveloping the Clarendon Centre and repurposing historic buildings, including the town hall as a cultural hub. The focus is no longer just retail, but community, culture, housing, and creating a town centre people can live in, not just move through. At the heart of that change are the people who know Hyde best and care about where it's heading.
My name's Andrew Richardson, and I do a lot of social media based on Hyde. So I run a Facebook group called Hyde Past and Present, and a few other local groups I'm involved with on social media as well. I actually drive trams for Metrolink for a living, and I've always done business in and around Hyde. So I was born in Hyde back in 1963 and lived with my parents in Hyde for about 20 odd years before I got married. Me and my wife lived in Horton Green for 10 years, and then we moved back to Hyde, and we've lived back in Hyde for a good 25 years now. Hyde has adapted over the decades, so obviously it had a very vibrant market. And in 1967, the mall was built, so that was just after I was born. So I've always known the mall being here in Hyde and having a market. But obviously, over the years, markets in general have declined, and Hyde's just the same. Although, it still has very vibrant businesses. it's still a great place to come and shop and eat. And so really it's not actually changed that much. But, obviously people have an opinion about Hyde, that feels it has declined. But if people actually came into the town and used it more, that would help prevent that decline. Yeah, Hyde hasn't, I don't think, really sort of declined. It's probably just held its ground, really, because as some local businesses unfortunately have closed, and we've seen the closure of a lot of pubs, which is a national thing, new businesses have come in to take the place, and also, some buildings have been redeveloped and opened as other things, like we have what was the Co-op, Wilco's, it was Quick Save at one time as well, is now a bowling alley. So, new things have come in. Hopefully, new things will happen with the HSBC building in the not too distant future, as that does give a very negative, image of the town, people seeing that on the market square. But hopefully things are moving and that will change soon and it will give a better appearance. So Hyde's not, I don't say it's in decline, but it's certainly, making a big effort to take steps forward towards improving. So I think some people have very negative opinions and always point to when things close down, that Hyde's declining. But like I say, new businesses have come in. I'm looking right now at Flaming Ice in front of me. That, obviously it was Pop in the past. And, it was closed for about 12 months, but it's now, a brand new shining business. So, as things go, new things come in. And I think people should be a little bit more positive and, they really need to get themselves into Hyde rather than just complaining all the time. The people that complain are often the people that don't actually come into the town and see what's going on. So, obviously, if you do come in and see what's going on, then I think, you've got a bit more right to an opinion and I think you'd feel a bit more positive about things.
This new perspective offers a different way of looking at the town, not as something fading, but as something in transition.
But Hyde isn't alone in its struggles. Across the country, towns like this are navigating the same quiet shift. But it hasn't disappeared. It's changed.
In town after town, the same questions echo. What remains? What changes? And what does progress look like for places that weren't built for a digital age, but for steam, steel and shop fronts?
Whilst some have adapted better than others, Hyde still has life and community. But there's still a shared feeling that places like this are often left behind as attentions turn elsewhere. One question that keeps coming up is, where is Hyde actually headed? What does the future look like for a town like this?
Let's hear back from Hyde's younger voices, the ones who will inherit what we leave behind for them, to see how they think Hyde can be developed.
I think Hyde could be developed one way that we improve that market area. A lot of stores nowadays have gone, and it's all left with you left. If you go past, there's quite a lot then. Maybe a few more breaks.
I think Hyde just needs investment and time invested into the community and just everything around. Clean it up a bit more. Yeah, it's just got to start from the bottom and work our way back up, make it better in the future.
Well, recently there's been some plans to redevelop the entire town centre, and I think those plans are great because it will open up everything, bring the community closer, and make us feel like we're living in a really much better place.
Really minor issue, it's always annoyed me. The litter. Just, like, as you go sort of off the road towards the it's just litter everywhere, and it drags you down a little bit with just where everything is just dirty or there's just cigarette ends on the floor. And yeah, I just feel like it sort of ruins the aesthetic of it all. Where there's just where it's just litter and crisp packets and bird crap everywhere, Presentation is a big part of what makes a person move to somewhere, and when there's litter all on the ground, it doesn't look very advertisable.
The future of Hyde isn't defined by one voice or one plan. It's shaped by the people who live here now, the choices made next, and the willingness to see potential rather than problems. Whether through redevelopment, community action, or simply choosing to show up, Hyde's next chapter is still being written.
Hyde isn't perfect, but it's more than a place people pass through. It's a town shaped by its past, living in the present and still figuring out its future. Whether that future fades or flourishes depends on the people who care enough to notice it. That's it from me, and I hope to see you around Hyde very soon.
Hey mate, I've got an idea.